Hi everyone, I hope you're doing amazing. In today's video, we have a new lesson which is the conditionals. Do you know what conditionals mean? يعني هذه الconditionals ماذا تعني؟ Conditionals means الجمل الشرطية. Okay, in Arabic we say جمل شرطية. Okay, we're going to see now how many types يعني كم من نوع لدينا من الجمل الشرطية. How many types of conditionals? How can we form them? يعني كيف تتم صياغة هذه الجمل الشرطية. And when we use them. ومتى يتم استعمال كل جملة من هذه الجمل الشرطية. So, are you ready? Let's get started.
So I'm gonna stop looking at you. Oh, I'm gonna stop looking at you.
So as you see here, we have conditionals. We use conditional sentences to describe how an action or situation affects its result. بمعنى نستعمل هذه الجمل الشرطية للتعبير عن مدى ارتباط الشرط بالنتيجة. الشرط الذي يتم طبعا تحقيق النتيجة حسب هذا الشرط أو توفر هذا الشرط. So here we have structure بمعنى الصيغة كيف يتم صياغة هذه الجمل الشرطية. First we have a clause is a part of a sentence يعني نعرف أول ما معنى كلمة clause وهو جزء من الجملة. Here we have main clause بمعنى الجزء الرئيسي في الجملة أو الجزء المهم في الجملة. Okay, main clauses are those that can be alone as a sentence يعني يكون جزء من الجملة قائم بنفسه. So here we have conditionals. We have if clause, comma, main clause بمعنى الشرط والنتيجة. هنا إذا قمنا بالعكس إذا بدأت الجملة بالنتيجة أولا لا نستعمل هنا أي فاصلة. So we have main clause and if clause with no comma here. You see? هذه فقط كملحوظة. A comma separates the two clauses only if يعني فقط إذا ابتدأنا الجملة بالشرط. Only if the condition clause goes first in the sentence. يعني إذا ابتدأت الجملة بالشرط نستعمل الفاصلة. Okay, so here we have the conditionals. The zero conditional used for truth condition. Conditional type 1 for probable condition. Type 2 improbable condition. And type 3 impossible condition. So here we have some examples. If I have enough money, I will go to the USA.
So here we have if I have enough money which is the condition يعني هذا هو الشرط إذا كان لدي المال الكافي as a result I will go to USA يعني كنتيجة سأذهب إلى أمريكا. Here we can start by the result يعني يمكن أن نبدأ الجملة بالنتيجة. Then we will say I will go to USA if I have enough money يعني سأذهب إلى أمريكا إذا كان معي المبلغ الكافي من المال.
So that was just a general idea about the conditionals, when they are used and how they can be formed. First, we have conditional type 0. So for the zero conditional, we will see right now when we use it, how we form it.
So for conditional type 0, it's used for scientific facts or general truth. بمعنى نستعمل هذا النوع من الجمل الشرطية للتعبير عن حقائق علمية عامة أو مطلقة. يعني تكون لدينا نتيجة حتمية ونتيجة متأكدين منها. The form أي الصيغة. دائما لدينا if clause و result clause بمعنى الشرط والنتيجة. في الشرط لدينا if plus subject plus present simple وكذلك في النتيجة لدينا present simple. As an example here we have if you heat butter it melts. أي عند وضع الزبدة فوق النار فهي ستذوب. طبعا هذه نتيجة مطلقة ونتيجة حتمية. كما يمكننا أن نبدأ بالنتيجة like here butter melts if you heat it يعني الزبدة تذوب إذا وضعناها فوق النار. يعني بإمكاننا أن نبدأ بالنتيجة أو بالشرط.
We have conditional type 1. When we can use conditional type 1, how do we format?
So we start by when we use this conditional. يعني متى يستعمل هذا النوع من الجمل الشرطية. It's used for conditions that are likely to be fulfilled. And when there is a high possibility that the result might happen. أي عندما يكون هناك احتمال كبير لتحقيق هذه النتيجة. أي نكون شبه متأكدين من هذه النتيجة أو لدينا احتمال كبير بأن هذه النتيجة ستتحقق. We move now to the form أي نمر لصياغة هذا النوع من conditionals. We have if clause and result clause أي الشرط والنتيجة. So for if clause we have if plus subject plus present, and for the result we have will or may or can plus the base verb. As an example, if it's hot today, we may go swimming. Or we can also say we may go swimming if it's hot today. يعني إذا كان الجو ساخنا فسنذهب للسباحة. Another example, again if clause and result clause. If you study hard, you'll pass the exam. أي لو راجعت ودرست جيدا ستنجح في الامتحان. We can also say you will pass the exam if you study hard. يعني بإمكاننا دائما أن نبدأ بالresult أو بالشرط.
We move now to conditional type 2. Also, we will see right now the form and use.
So here for conditional type 2, we start again by the uses. يعني نبدأ باستعمال هذا النوع من الجمل الشرطية. We use conditional type 2 to talk about hypothetical situations, imaginary situations, or impossible situations. بمعنى نستعمل هذا النوع من الجمل للتعبير عن حالات افتراضية أو حالات خيالية أو حالات مستحيلة. Okay, we're going to see different examples, but first we start with the form. يعني قبل إعطاء الأمثلة نبدأ بالقاعدة وهي if clause and result clause. في ال if clause لدينا if plus subject plus past simple, and for the result would plus base verb. So as an example here we have if I were so rich I would buy a very big house. يعني لو كنت غنيا جدا لاشتريت منزلا كبيرا.
Here is the last conditional, which is conditional type 3. We're going also to see when and how we form this conditional.
For this type of conditionals, which is type 3, we use it to talk about impossible situations or regret. أي للتعبير عن حالة أو وضعية مستحيلة أو للندم على فعل ما أو شيء ما قمنا به. Moving to the form, as usual كالعادة لدينا if clause وهي شرط, result clause أي النتيجة. So in the if clause we have if plus subject plus the past perfect وهو had زائد past participle, and in the result we have would have plus the past participle of the verb. As an example, أي على سبيل المثال لدينا if he had revised his lessons he would have passed the exam. يعني لو راجع دروسه جيدا لنجح في الامتحان. But he didn't pass his exams because he didn't revise his lessons. You all know that practice makes perfect, so it's time for practice. Try to take your time to answer all of these examples, then we get back to correct all of them. So the first sentence, if they had enough money, they would buy a new car. 2. If he were my friend, I would invite him. 3. The Smiths would go on holiday if they had the time. 4. If Susan studied harder, she would be better at school. For the fifth, we would call the police if we saw a burglar. يعني هنا دائما would في result في نتيجة و the past simple في condition أي شرط. If the pupils had no school they would play football. If I came home early my father wouldn't be angry. And the last one, if I were you I wouldn't go to the party. يعني كما قلنا سابقا دائما هنا would أو wouldn't plus the base verb in the result في النتيجة والpast simple في الشرط. We move now to the third conditional. بالنسبة لل third conditional we use the past perfect and would plus have plus the past participle. Then if the weather had been nice we would have played football. The car wouldn't have broken if you had checked it. Next, if we had gone to McDonald's, we would have had more to eat. Next, you would have understood the film if you had read the book. The water in the pool would have been warmer if the sun had shone. If John had learned more words, he would have written a good report. My parents would have bought the house if the man hadn't sold it to someone else. If the police hadn't stopped me, I would have reached you in time. So that was the correction of our practice concerning the conditional type 3. يعني هذا كان صحيح بالنسبة للتمرين الأخير عن الجمل الشرطية اللي هي conditional type 3. So please be careful with the condition and the result. يعني لا بد أن ننتبه مع الشرط ومع النتيجة. Okay, in the third conditional we have to use the past perfect in the condition. يعني نستعمل past perfect في الشرط and would have plus the past participle in the result. يعني نستعمل would have زائد past participle of the verb في النتيجة. So we did exercises in type 2 and type 3, but please try to do exercises and more practice in all of the conditionals. So that was all concerning the conditionals. I hope you understand it well, and if you have any kinds of questions, you are always the most welcome. يعني إذا كان هناك شيء غامض أو غير مفهوم فقط يمكنكم يعني ترك الأسئلة في التعليقات وسأجيب على كل وجميع الأسئلة إن شاء الله. So I hope you understand the lesson well. Take care of yourselves and see you in the next lesson inshallah. Bye for now.